Hello, everyone. It's Linda and
Debbie, hi.
and we're here for our wonderful week of great videos. And this is the Bernina Day, right, Debbie?
This is Bernina Day.
So we are going to introduce a couple of specials, and then we're going to turn it over to Sandra Swick. She was the wonderful educator we had here for Bernina Academy, and we filmed her. I think you're in it too, Debbie, aren't you? And
I might have been in it a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, so
it was fun.
We are showing some great specials during that Bernina Week because it just happened, and we're carrying forth those specials to this fabulous 4th of July week. Now, our week ends on July 10th, is that correct?
Saturday the 10th.
Right, and only while supplies last. You can't order anything. And then the other thing I wanted to make sure that everyone knows, come join us on the 4th of July. We're going to have hot dogs and all kinds of fun things. So
we are. But you know what? There's something right in front of us. What is that? Right here.
Ooh, Bernina
and
Burnett.
Behind us. Yeah, well, first of all, in front of us, because it's Bernina Day today, we actually have a giveaway, folks. And the announcement for this machine, so if you enter our drawing, you can win this machine. And the announcement will be next Thursday, July 8th.
Wow.
The winner of all of our prizes. So we have multiple prizes. We're going to start with the Laura Lift.
Oh,
so
and
Laura Star Lift Iron.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yes.
That Laura Star Lift is the best pricing you will ever find. Call us, come in, those of you that are local. There's something a little extra special we can do if you're local. But the pricing is unbelievable. It's on our website,
for
right,
all
Judy?
of the Laura Star.
Yeah.
And you can rewatch the video that we made on Monday with the Laura Star company.
Yeah.
And you can find out all the special pricing that is going on right now for our 4th of July sale for the Laura Star ironing systems.
And you know, one thing that I'd like to interject here is that those of you, I know some of you are watching this that already have Laura Star. Raise your hands. Oh, quite a few. Watch that video. Mike Venditti is the educator that did the presentation. He taught us so much. I mean, he's just really great. So just watch it. It'll stir your memory about a couple of things.
On day 2, we decided we would be giving away the chair. This chair that's over here in our studio.
Wow.
And this is the Alexander Henry fabric covered chair. It's a hydraulic lift chair. It also swivels. So it's got the wheels and everything. It's got it's a regularly $400 chair. So that's a huge giveaway. And Arrow and Kangaroo were agreed to give that away for us. So we're excited for that winner, and that will be announced also July 8th. Third one we have is a Brother machine. So there will be a Brother machine given away, a sewing machine. And then then we did with Brewer, our Notions distributor. Right. We did this cordless, Panasonic cordless iron as well. That is a giveaway. And then last but not least, Bernette. Yes, a little Bernette sewing machine.
Wait a minute, I don't have
for a lucky winner.
I don't have my ears on yet. I think I gotta put those
4th
on.
of July.
Okay, come on.
This is a good celebration. So for the entire time until July 10th, all of our notions are actually the ones that we featured during our video seance with the Brewer distributor company. There's a whole bunch of them. I mean, just a large quantity of them.
Yes.
And we tried to give you the best sellers, the ones that are really fun to use.
And
there's a coupon for 30% off.
Yeah.
And the coupon is July 30th.
Wow. Caroline, thank you. You must have been up all night doing that.
Yes.
We have Caroline here who does a lot of our work for our website.
So if you are not able to come into the store, that is a great way to get 30% coupon off of those particular notions. Otherwise, all of our notions are on sale in the store. And if you come in, you will choose your notions and you put them in your little basket, go up to the counter. And when you've finished your shopping spree, you can pick a coupon from the mannequin. So that we say pick a pin from the mannequin. And so you have between 20% and 40% off of those sales, of those items in the store. The odds of 40% are not huge, but they are.
I saw somebody yesterday.
I mean, I know people who have that lucky vein going right through them. And they pick that right one and they get
they get at least 20%.
That's at least 20% off in the store.
Okay.
30 on the website.
Wow.
That's correct.
Wow, that's great. Now, do we have some, we've got a lot of 4th of July things we wanted to put out, but do we have any free things we can give them?
Yes, let's give some freebies
Okay,
away.
let's do it.
All right.
Nick has his little spinning wheel. I know it takes a while. Sometimes we like to do that ahead of time.
Our first giveaway today is a measuring tape that's got one of the eyeballs of the frog pulls out and is the measuring tape. We have some Sewing Notions Kleenex, and then we have a sewing kit for those who like to have a sewing kit with them in their purse. Okay. No, we're not going to open it.
Oh, I thought it was mine.
No, it's not yours. Unless you win.
Da-da-da. We have 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Jody Morrison won this
congratulations.
little gift. Awesome.
Put your name on it.
Okay, so the next one that we have is a Robeson Anton spool, 6 spools of Robeson Anton embroidery thread. So who is going to be the lucky winner of this gift?
Look, this is a great one. They're all great.
All of them are great.
Really...
Okay, Dawn Pavlik.
Oh, congratulations,
the next
Dawn.
one is a book called Playing with Patchwork and Sewing. Playing with Patchwork and Sewing.
Okay.
Let's do it. And Rebecca Dick.
Wow.
Rebecca Dick wins the book.
Congratulations. You're going to love this one.
Then we have a FOF, I Love Sewing Embroidery Designs, 108 FOF pink designs for 18 specially donated designs.
And there's all kinds of different fonts or design. So if you own a Brother or Bernina or whatever, you can also use
formats. Different formats for embroidery. I'm ready.
Oh,
Vicky Shemansky.
Wow.
Vicky.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Congratulations. So, and last but not least for today,
come on,
we have
put your lucky hat on.
10-inch square of Jubilee Amanda Murphy. So there are 28 pieces in this. You've got beautiful golds and reds and blacks. It is beautiful, this collection. So let's see who wins that. Ooh, Wendy Smith.
Wow.
Wendy Smith wins that.
Okay, guys, we do this every day. So tomorrow will be, no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do live Facebook, right? Aren't we
Actually, on Saturday we're going to do live Facebook. That's right. And then Sunday we will be doing hot dogs.
Oh, okay. So hope to see you guys. Hope that you're going to come and join us. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We didn't talk about the one thing. The Sandra's Wick is coming back in December.
Oh, I love it.
You guys, if you missed this event that you're about to see on our video, you can come back and get some more fun. So basically, we're going to have Sandra back on Thursday and Friday, December 9th and 10th. And you can learn everything there is to know about serging and overlocking. And with
she
Sandra.
is the best.
She really is the best.
Fabulous.
And if you then if you were the alumni people that went to the one that we just had last week, you can actually come on Saturday, the 11th of December. And that is going to be another mystery make project that you will be able to discover when you're in the class.
And how about if they took the 10th and 11th? Could they then be their alumni, right?
If they took the 9th and the 10th, they could stay for the 11th, and you would become an alumni, and you could have 2 different mystery make classes. That's
so how many of you out there, I just want to leave you with this question, have a serger and haven't used it in the last, say, 6 months? Then you need to come to this event.
Right, because we are going to have you become the surging queens and kings.
Yep.
Right?
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay, happy 4th, everyone. We'll see you on Saturday.
Bye.
Today we can I talk in this microphone? Can you hear me? Hi, I'm Linda. Very good to hear you. And we are here with Sandra Swick. We're going to pull her aside a moment and talk to her and look at what Lois is doing on this beautiful Bernina. And I think it's one of her first times, isn't it?
Yes. She's doing a great job, too.
You really are.
She's doing a wonderful job.
We have a lot of new people that have never sewn before.
So what is she doing?
Stitch regulator. They're doing stippling.
They're doing free motion quilting.
Yes. And doing a wonderful job. They're not afraid of it. They're just relaxing. Because we've had so much fun, right, everybody? Look at Terry over here. Look at you.
I'm trying to do some wings.
Oh, I love it. saw anything. You don't know where she is now, but she just finished and left because of it. Oh, she was down. Jane, look at you. You're going to town too. I know I shouldn't be having them film you. Now they're going to get nervous. But we have these beautiful Berninas on sale during our 4th of July sale. We hope everybody will come and join us. And we actually have, can we take a walk over here? We have, I think it's Michelle over here that I see that is sewing on the Q20, is it? Oh my gosh, you're going to love seeing this. So let's go over here. See the back of my jacket? It's all done on this beautiful Bernina. Come on, show us what you were doing over here, Michelle.
Oh, I was just
Oh my
quilting the square.
gosh, you guys, this is not, everybody's gonna think that we brought rookies in here. Not rookies, what's the word?
I'm a beginning
Yeah.
free motion quilter, so
You would never know it, really, look at that, and you did that just now on the
Yeah.
Q20?
yeah.
Wow,
That's beautiful.
So I own this machine. I love it.
Yeah.
love it, love it, love it. So I'm just learning how to do stuff and gotta practice
Very pretty.
standing instead of sitting.
Yeah, it really is. kinda
Something
nice to
different.
stand,
Something
right?
different.
Debbie, tell us about the difference between the stand and the sit.
Well, this is actually the horn lift table, and it's up, I think it's at its highest height right now. You can go up a little bit higher than this, up to 42 inches. And you were doing that, standing up,
Yeah,
Michelle, and
yeah.
with the foot down here, and you just release the foot, and you can just go to town standing up. So ergonomically, you can actually
That's
stand,
great.
or
Yeah.
you can go bring it all the way down to anywhere in between. I can stop anywhere, but it goes all the way down to 29, which is the standard height for a sit-down machine, sit-down cabinet. Here we go, all the way down. A little bit too low for me, unless I'm sitting on a really low chair, but
And if you have
perfect for you, Mom.
if you have a big quilt, you just pull the arms out. Let's pull it out.
Yeah, that's right. If you have a big quilt, there are extension leaves on the side. Oh, perfect height for you. That's
There
great.
There you go.
Yeah.
And look at the results.
Oh yeah, it just voila, very
Magic.
fast. Look at all that work she did in less than 30 seconds.
I'm getting there. I'm
Yeah,
getting
you
there.
are getting there. It's really kind of cool to see. What I love about this Bernina myself is that you can take and put the regular Bernina feet on here, and it's got the really, really precision Bernina stitch regular built into the machine, and that's why the back looks just as good as the front, and I think that's just phenomenal.
And you have standard flat back needles in this machine. All of the spring-loaded feet work. Any of the Bernina spring-loaded feet will work on this. Oh, she's bringing it back up to the stand-up. And then this is the 20-inch throat, but they came out with a 16-inch throat that you can put on this same table. That's the one I actually have at my home. And they just now came out with the 16 plus. And the 16 plus goes on a new frame that Bernina is going to be releasing at their Bernina convention this summer. And they, we just ordered one today.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Can you take the 16 plus, if it's in a table like this, and take it off and put it on the frame?
On the new frame.
On the new frame.
16
But you have a Q20. Yeah, because they can go on the frame. So you could take a Q20 and put it on the new 16 plus frame.
That is correct.
Wow, it's gonna be pretty cool stuff.
You want to see Sandra?
We should, and I wanna take a couple of samples over with behind areas.
Oh,
This was during our wonderful class. These are some of the samples that we've been showing. These are the bonding tops, and we have a lot of classes going on, so I hope you're thinking about coming and looking at our website and see some of them.
I wanted to add real quick, if you're talking about classes, more and more we're incorporating the sergers and sewing machines, but mostly we're adding that serger element into our classroom. So if you are wanting to try out a serger and make a garment, we are the place to come for that.
And you know, when Debbie said garment, I had quite a few. We've sold in this event that we're having right today. I think we did at least 6 of the new Bernina sergers. And the reason why people are buying, these are not garment sewers. These are quilters, and they're people that do a lot of home dep. We have a lot of napkins. I bet we sold hundreds of yards of every year doing that. So maybe if we get a minute, could we show them the rolled edge when we after we finish?
Yeah.
And also, another idea, So we have teachers that come to our store to teach also the decorative quilting, and we have new ideas for classes to teach people just an entire class on how do I quilt the fabric that's going to become the bag that I'm going to make, and using sergers and sewing machines and quilting machines. So there's all kinds of ways to quilt using sergers and sewing machines. So there you go.
Yeah, the decorative threads that Sandra Swick uses are really amazing, and some of the flat locking that she's doing too in quilting is really something.
Nice
So
segue. Let's go grab her.
let's go ahead and see what we can do and see if we can get a hold of her. Now, Sandra is the top educator, I consider. She has done our Bernina Academies for many years here at LindaZ. She's also done our Surging Academies, which is quite a feat because, you know, some of these teachers know the machines, but they don't know the surgers, and she really understands both. So we're very fortunate. She's flown out here from Idaho. And Sandra, can we get you over here to interview a little bit?
I heard you were talking about me, so
It was really good things. We are just so
thought I
happy
better
to
go over
have
there
you.
where I can control the narrative.
So this is Sandra Swick in
Hi,
person,
everybody.
and we're just very, very fortunate to have her. She truly walks the talk,
Oh,
talks the
thank you.
walk.
I love Bernina.
I can tell. Yeah, and you know it. You
Yes,
can tell
well,
you're
and
not
the only one that loves Bernina more than me is you.
Oh, I love it.
No, and this one.
And
over here.
Deborah.
I'm going to and talk to her.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
go grab a
What should we talk
soda.
about?
Well, gosh, we've been having so much fun for the last 3 days.
It has been
And
great.
the group has been the same group. They stayed from the
I can't-
surging
they're
to the
coming
sewing.
for 4 days.
I know, this is really, really fun.
Wow.
And we transitioned into the sewing and quilting element.
Yes, from the
What are some of the
surgers.
techniques that we were doing today? Can we like walk and see some of the techniques on?
Sure, let's see if somebody has their book that we can open.
Do
Can
you
I
have
open your book?
Michelle? That we
Here,
can look
mine-
at some of the
mine's right
samples
here.
that we
Okay.
worked on today?
Sure.
That was,
So one of the real creative things and one of the that I love is doing couching in embroidery.
So it's in the hoop.
It's in the hoop.
And I think we had like 15 or 20 rolls of this cording, and everyone bought a whole spool of the cording.
Did they?
Yeah.
We sold all
They're
the
gone.
cording
They're all
and
gone.
all the
Yeah.
other colors.
I know, it's beautiful.
But we used the 43 foot, and it's a couching foot, so it has a hole through the side and down through the middle. But I used it in embroidery. So I used a single run quilting design, and there's some great ones built in on the machine as well. So that we did all of this in embroidery. It wasn't even free motion quilting,
No, it's
like we usually
it's
do
beautiful.
with the 43.
It's really, really beautiful.
So that
Very,
was
very
that's
well
one
done.
of
That
my
was
favorites.
Yep. And then you guys, I know you had.
We
did
did some monogramming. We did monogramming in the look at MMM. Oh, it's M&Ms. We did some monogramming and we used pinpoint placement. And that's one thing that makes Bernina stand out, don't you
That's
think,
right.
is pinpoint placement.
Bernina doesn't need a camera when they have pinpoint placement.
No, they don't. And we can hoop as crooked as we want,
That's right.
and it sews out
It
beautifully.
really does.
It's nice and straight on there, even if I don't hoop it straight.
So we didn't even need software to make this because we
No,
actually
we did this on the
created
machine. Yep,
inside the machine.
we did.
Yep. And everybody did their own initials, so or whatever choice they wanted to do with initials.
Yes.
And then we used the circular attachment.
We
didn't
did. So the circular attachment moves the fabric in a circle, and I can do all sorts of decorative stitches. And one thing I've discovered, so this is kind of a secret out there for those of you who use this tool already, if you will go to the uneven clicks, like 3, 5, 7, 9 clicks out from center, usually with a 9mm single stitch, it will meet perfectly at the end. And this gal, she did. I can't even see where she started and end because we were at 3 and 5.
Okay.
And then we designed this in our combi mode. Combi mode's so great, like to make quilt labels,
That is correct.
because I can type anything I want in. I can put some decorative stitches in. So
Those are 9mm wide lettering,
Yeah,
and
they
that's
are.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And this is in sewing.
This isn't sewing. This is in
sewing-
embroidery.
This is not in the hoop. This is
Mhm.
actually using the sewing mode of the sewing machine.
It
And this,
did.
and the circular attachment does the circle for you, doesn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. And then we did some quilting, and I think you guys already took some pictures of that.
That's true.
Yep.
But
so
we can
did
show that
some-
again.
So
There's Michelle's
it's a
beautiful. She has a cute 20, you can tell. Very fun. And tomorrow is going to just be great because we're in my favorite I say that about everything, don't I?
But we have a lot of favorites.
We have a lot of favorites. Is Pentucky.
Oh yes.
The
Kentucky
Pentucky with a
decorative stitches.
9mm
That's right.
stitch in between. And
Yep.
then we're gonna cut it all up
And create something
and
really
create
mysterious.
a mystery project that nobody's gonna be able to see. So sorry,
We
you
can't
need
tell
to
you
sign
that.
up for a
Sorry.
mystery make
That's
if you
right.
wanna come see what we're making.
Yeah,
I think people will sign up for next year after this
You
video.
guys have to sign up for this, and Sandra will be back
Will
for
I?
more fun.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. Oh,
We were
LindaZ.
hoping another
Yeah, we'd like
Serger
to do
before
one
Christmas.
before Christmas. We'll do another one before the end of the year.
Over to the surging area.
Oh, let's move over to the surgery
Yes.
area, and we'll show how to do a rolled edge
Walk over
on these
there.
wonderful napkins.
I'm going to show them. You can actually see this if you want. It's a very beautiful roll count. You can
Yeah, sure.
hang that out so they can see it. And see on this edge too. Now this, we did a practice so you could see the difference. Now we're putting the two pieces together. It's an 18-inch napkin, roosters on one side and little hearts on the other side.
And you've got your clips around holding the front and
go.
back together. Let's
So
go. Yeah. All
Show
right.
you what we're doing. I can see it anywhere. New beautiful Bernina 890 that we've been talking about.
With its cabinet, its very
Do
own
we have any
cabinet.
more of these left?
Um,
Probably not. They've been
I-
sold.
I think there might be one.
And is there a gray? It's white and gray. And I
White
guess
and
have
gray
questions that-
And yeah, no, white and gray antique, I believe, are the.
I will tell you, Sandra, if I could, because I own this machine.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah. Do you have the cabinet?
I don't,
I
not
don't
yet.
either.
I don't
I-
have my sewing studio built, but I will be getting one as
You
soon as,
will.
soon as lumber prices go down.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I wish I could fit it in.
And the back folds up for
I
a cutting
know.
area.
Yes,
I
it
know.
does.
Well, I would fold it up and put a few more sergers back there. Because I love the 850 too. I think it's also a great serger, which is on the back side here. And again, this little tin box that everybody talks about is one of the really
You
wonderful
get two tin
reasons.
boxes
Yep.
with the
One of the
serger.
reasons why you want to buy this machine. And it's got all
Can I
of the-
show you why I bought it?
Mhm.
It's the silliest thing. The needle pad. That's why I bought my 460, and that's why I bought my
I love
LA 90, because I love the needle pads.
Well, there's about a bunch of other reasons also.
Well, yeah,
right?
the air
Really-
threading.
the
Oh
air
my gosh,
threading is
I had
awesome.
never sewed on an air threader before,
This is
ever.
You really
And oh my gosh, Bernina did it right.
Yeah,
And
good job.
the look of the machine, you said we can hide it from.
Well, this is what I thought is if I bring one of these home and put it in my sewing studio, my husband walks in,
Oh,
he'll
no.
have no idea I have a new machine. It looks just like my sewing
It's
machine.
true. It does. It really does.
Oh, and the tools on board, the
Yes.
beautiful lighting, the open space.
Oh, almost 6 inches in here.
The foot slides over to the
Yeah.
side. Well, the needle's down right now, but
The
yeah.
sliding foot is just phenomenal. So this will move. See if I can slide it
Slide
out of
out?
the way. I can get my fabric in there right away. That's what's so incredible.
And watch this, when it's out, all I have to do is go like that with
And
my
it comes
lever and it comes
Automatically
in.
brings it back.
Wow. Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
really
I didn't even know that. That's
pretty
great.
amazing what these engineers have come up with. And then it's got your knee lift lever.
Yeah, my
it is-
freehand system.
And I love the memory and the touch screen. That to me, it's an automatic tension. And there's quite often, Mary knows this about me a lot. She's our major surgery educator here. And what she does is often she'll bring in some really unusual threads like you were doing. And I'll take 3 or 4 really crazy gold and yellow and purples or whatever. And then I will stitch those out in my stitch that I like. And then I'll put it in memory. And I'll call it LindaZ Crazy Stitch.
Yes.
So I know what that LindaZ Crazy Stitch
And
is.
then all I have to do is push the heart, and it's saved in there.
Right. So it's
So as
So
LindaZ
you can
Crazy
create the name.
Stitch.
yeah,
Yep,
I
then you can
love
create
the
the name.
simplicity.
I do
That-
too.
And also the fact that is a video for every stitch.
Oh, every
and
stitch has a
everything
video.
you're doing.
Yeah.
As
So
a
if you have
video.
a question, boom,
Threading.
touch it, boom, you got it.
Right.
Okay. Well, what I love too here is that it's total stitch control. So yes, you pulled up the 3 thread rolled hem, but depending on what threads you're using, you can change the stitches and then you can save them You can
Wow.
save 100 stitches in there.
That's amazing.
Isn't that
Very
crazy?
nice. Very nice.
Now, I see standing next to you here is is Jane, one of our quilting instructors, and I know, Jane, you just bought
Come on
this.
over.
Can you
Yo,
tell me
yes.
why?
It blows my mind. I made a bet to Mary, the store manager, that if she ever found an air threading cover stitch, I'd give up on my other brand of, and I had 2 of them at that time, of sergers, and she just chuckled. And about 5 months later, she went, "Here, Jane." Sat me down in front of
It
it.
didn't take much, did it?
Oh no,
She
that
was
air
in
thread-
heaven
No,
when
no,
she saw that.
no. What really sold me, not only the air threading, but this. I love that tool
The tools
drawer.
on board.
Tools on board. I just absolutely love it. I started playing with it and I started developing. Well, you saw I did a quilt where I not only attached the binding with it, I turned around and I finished the binding with a decorative chain stitch on it
Yes.
using 12-weight thread everywhere.
Beautiful.
And I did several quilted projects. I just love
You
this
used it on
machine.
a Bayani project too, right?
Huh?
Didn't you use it on a Bayani project too?
Yes,
Yes.
several of them now,
Yes.
and they just you should see the stash of stuff. I'm saying, okay, now I've got this one done, and I've been using that heart directing crazy. And it's funny, I'll say 3 thread, blah blah blah. And I think my name is so long, I'm going to go off it, but it lets me save it to anything I want to do.
Yes. And another fun thing she did when she put her binding on by the quilt, she put fusible thread
Oh
in the lower looper and serge your binding on just like you would on a sewing machine. You don't do anything different. You miter the corner exactly the same. Then she was able to fold it over to the back and press it with her Laura Star.
Yes.
Press
I
it.
am a LindaZ.
Yes, now
consumer.
press it into place because then you can use your walking foot, your number 10 foot, or some ladies enjoy doing it by hand. I'm not one of those. But
I am. I've done it all those ways.
Yes.
It was like, oh,
And
it's
then
like,
you used the chain stitch though to
Oh.
put the binding down.
Nice.
yes, I'm working on a secret for them. I'm going to say, I want to do this for Quilt Week.
And you will.
Yeah, every time I turn around, you say, you're going to teach
Yes,
that.
and it's in November, so keep your eyes posted for our Quilt Week, which is annual. We do it every year, and it's getting longer and longer every year. So I think it's 10 or 12 days now. Our
Oh my
Quilt
gosh.
Week.
You can see we've got really wonderfully creative people here, Sandra.
You do. I love
It's a
coming
great thing.
here.
Well, they love feeding off of each other. And
Yes.
because,
Oh,
yes.
everybody
I
contributes.
learned some great tips today,
Mhm.
and this year I love coming to these things. I learned so many new things.
Okay,
To
well,
people.
thanks so much, everyone. We hope you're going to join us.
Do we wanna
July
show-
sale?
This is our 4th of July sale. That is really our biggest sale of the entire year.
Always has been, always
And-
will.
And should we
Yeah.
wrap it up with the peacock machine real quick?
Oh, sure.
Let's
Peacock.
look at it real quick.
We'd love to show
It's-
Which is right over here.
Yeah,
The
let's
480
do
is
it.
right back here.
Okay.
Or did you
so
want to
let's
show
I
the
do
think
790
we can show the
first?
790, but let's show. So what is this one over
This
there?
is the little one, the little sister, that it doesn't look that little, but what is so wonderful about it is that you have an 8mm stitch. This isn't plugged in, but this machine is literally coming free with our package, with our SE or our Peacock large
790.
machine.
And
it
they both have
also-
luggage.
Right, they have luggage. That's what's so incredible. There's about $1,000 worth of luggage between the two machines. This is over a $3,200 and some dollar machine that's free. The table that's coming on with it is included with the 790 Peacock. And look at the engraving in
Yeah, I
here.
know
It
it's
just feels
engraved in there.
It's just
Yeah.
phenomenal
Yep,
when you
yep.
touch it. It just
And that's Ann Lauer who designed the stitch plate on these two machines, and we're gonna show you the 790. But what's nice about this machine is that you can actually carry it to class. So it's
Or when you get yourself a new machine, you might gift someone, your daughter, your granddaughter, your
Absolutely.
sister.
my future daughter-in-law.
Oh,
I don't know.
we need to upgrade her, by the way.
Our
She doesn't-
videographer is going off to France this next week, and I don't know what his plans are over there, but we'll update you later.
It was some good news.
Yeah. All right. Let's go over to the Peacock machine because we want to show you what's really beautiful between the two machines. So we're going into our other event room, Actually, it's all big one room, but that's the back part, here's the front. And this is the machine that they've been sewing on throughout their event. And again, the stitch plate is just to die for. Look at the big screen.
Getting
It's a
embroidery
touch
on that one
screen.
too.
Right, the embroidery that comes with it. It is
the designs from built-in designs
from Man. There's a USB stick that comes that gives you all of her. She does the horses and the cats and the. She did
the peacocks here for this whole collection of fabric from
Did she do
Better
some unicorn too, or was it just horses?
She did some unicorns
Yeah,
also.
I mean, they're just beautiful. And the fabric we're throwing in during our big 4th of July special, we have a few of these left. We knew this was going to be such a big machine that we kept a few out for our 4th of July special. We don't have a lot, so you do need to come in because it's a phenomenally well-priced machine. And again, we're getting $100 worth of Ann Lauer fabric with the package. So that includes this machine, the luggage, the other machine, the luggage, the
Embroidery in it.
embroidery in it, the VIP card. We give a VIP card that gives you 25% off of all the Bernina notions and your bobbins and everything for a whole year. And then, of course, your free lessons for lifetime. And we do another special thing, and that's $1 off per yard of fabric lifetime. And Debbie can attribute.
Let's walk around the fabric area
Yeah,
a
wait
little
till you
bit.
see the fabric
Let's
up
do
here.
it.
It's,
Let's-
okay, start here. These
Start
are
here.
peacock fabrics that we think are just
That's our
absolutely
rest. That's
beautiful.
a thread rack that is not supposed to be there, but.
This is razzle dazzle, but the thread rack.
I want to go to Moda Wall, guys.
Okay,
I want
but
to show
these
them Moda Wall.
beautiful threads are something you don't see everywhere. And they
And those are perfect for serging.
They're beautiful for your upper and lower looper. If you want to do a rolled hem, you're going to get just a stunning rolled hem.
Even for the decorative
Right,
chain stitching,
right.
it can be beautiful.
So you can see, I'm going to let Debbie do this view because you are the,
Okay.
she is our fabric buyer and does a wonderful job. You should almost take them over to our kids and come.
Well, let's
So
have
let's
this
Let's do
first.
a full round.
Enjoy.
The entire wall, starting from those windows over there, all the way to the other side of the building, we can come over this way.
Yeah.
These ladies, and so we have different designers who are on each of these tripods. Different designers. We have a lot of Amanda Murphy. We have a lot of Kay England. We have some Vera Bradley. But the biggest wall here is our blendable wall. So it's sort of a rainbow of colors, and a lot of people come here from far away to get the colors that they need for their blenders, for their quilting. And it finishes off with the 300 and close to almost 380 colors of the Kona solids. So we can head on over that way and show you that as well. We're gonna come by the AccuQuilt Center, which has been completely picked over by our lovely ladies here the last few days. They're loving the AccuQuilt. So we've got the entire.
Talk towards me.
Oh wait, the entire Kona solids here. And then we've got different designers. Alex Anderson's here. We have Cotton and Steel, Rifle Paper Company, Kate Fest over here.
We have been having fun. We really have. For 2 days, I just love having everyone here. We don't have to keep these masks on, right? We do it if we're close for a long period of time. But for the majority of us, most of us have been vaccinated. We're just thrilled to be back. Tell me about it. I know. Yeah. Really awesome. So Sandra is going to talk a little bit about the Bernina Surgers. This is an 890 and an 850, and Mary, we're going to get you involved in this too. Oh, she didn't know that. Come on up here. Mary is one of the wonderful educators that Bernina has been working with to do the prototypes of Bernina Surgers. And what's the Swedish guy's name? That Swiss guy's name? Heinz or Hans? Yeah, I know. She would always come in and say, I don't know what his name was, but he sure knows me. And so they would talk quite often. I don't know how they would talk.
We email.
You email.
We email
constantly. And what they did is they would get her information about, as a consumer and as an instructor, what would really be the best thing that we could do for a serger. Now, I want to ask a couple of you, and I'm going to come back to Sandra here, but how many here, after sewing, because they've been sewing on these sergers for 2 days now, really doing a wonderful project, how many of you love the machine that you're sewing on? Be honest about it. Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely. That's great. Can you each give me, or some of you give me some of the points of what you like about it? Or anything right away that comes to your mind that you really like?
Screen in the videos.
Screen in the video. Okay, that's what Jenny said. What else? Anybody else? Something that you could
Quiet, beautiful
quiet
stitches.
and said what?
Beautiful stitches.
Michelle, beautiful stitches.
It takes out the stress of guesswork for what you do for each stitch.
I
Like how to set the tension.
Can you repeat that?
Mike takes out the stress of guesswork for what you do with the stitches. I mean, it's so true. I mean, because you don't know.
And then you don't want to keep sewing. Get frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Okay.
With the free
Very
arm.
free arm. Oh, free arm is so wonderful because you can get around it when you're all
That's huge.
Yeah. Bobby says she loves the foot that swings away.
Yes.
Isn't that fabulous? That was one of my favorites when I saw it. The built-in tool tray. Okay, great. These are great things, guys, because these are people that don't have these machines. Some of them do now, but they were working on these machines for 2 days, and Sandra exposed them to what did they get? What were some of the things you showed? You got it.
Oh, I do. Yes, we did rolled hem. We did a narrow 3-thread for those of you who are quilters, so we can put quilts together now with our 3-thread. We did a flat lock and wove a ribbon through it. That was really fun. I think everybody loved the cover stitches the best. The 3-needle cover stitches, the 2-needle cover stitches, and the chain.
And that's a difficult thing to do.
It used to be difficult to do.
Yeah,
It's not anymore.
How many here loved it and thought that a cover stitch was very easy to do? And I hope people are listening to this because this is not. Yeah, I mean that's pretty well.
Oh, thank you. I just do what I love and I have so much fun and you
Isn't
guys
that
make it
evident?
easy.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. When you have a passion for something and the other thing I can tell about Sandra is that she doesn't just teach and talk, talk a story, she does the story. Because look behind me. Can you show a couple of things that we've done? that
Sure,
are
let's
really
go look
great?
at the garments.
Okay.
Because like I told everyone, I was a quilter for the last 20 years. I gave up garment sewing as soon as I took my first quilt class, that was it. And just recently, because of my new machine, I've been making a lot of garments because it's so easy. It takes longer to cut out this t-shirt than it does to make it. It's completely done on the L890, as most of these garments are. Here's our flat lock with using the back side, like we did with the ribbon. This little vest is kind of fun. It's by Crossroads, and all the serging stitches are on the outside. So you can kind of show off your serging stitches. And this is one of my favorites I made for my granddaughter. All done on the 890, even the hem and sewing down the neckline, all with the cover stitch. So just so many fun things. Oh, can I show my plaid?
You sure can. We love this plaid.
You have to be careful with the plaid because it's addicting. And then you want to make everything plaid. So this originally was just the red piece of Amanda Murphy's fabric. And I used the cover stitch and used the back side of it and my chain stitch, and I made all the fabric first, and then I sewed it together in my little bag. So making the plaid is just so much fun.
I thought you were going to show them the plaid scarf. Wait till they see that.
Oh, my.
I love this.
This is fun because this is all flat lock. Again, this takes longer to put together. I mean yeah, there you go. I mean, it takes longer to cut it out than it does to put together. And like I told everybody, the scarf goes together maybe 10 or 15 minutes. The fringe took 3 TV shows to sit and fringe it, but it's all just flat locked together with that beautiful soft lock thread that you guys carry. I got hooked on it last year when I was here, and it's not easy to find, and then it's just a 3 thread all the way around the edge. So I'm going to leave the pattern probably with Linda. So she's going to look for some more woven flannels.
We are, and we're going to do a little kit on this.
And make a little kit out of it, and you'll get the pattern free with the kit.
Now, you can see that we're talking over all these people that are sewing. And you notice how quiet those machines were? You could hardly hear them. The noise was from us talking. It wasn't from the machine, which is really pretty cool. And that happened, didn't it, through the whole 2 days? Couldn't you talk to your neighbor when she was doing it? Now, I see Gail over here almost done, and I love what you've done. Can you show it?
No, she can't show
She
it.
can't
It's a
show it.
mystery.
Oh, it's a mystery. Sorry,
This
you
is
can't look
going
at it.
all over the
Nick, they
country.
No,
can't see.
they won't.
Okay.
It's a secret.
Okay, but they did some wonderful techniques. You'll just have to come and take the class.
That's right. We'll have to do it again.
Now,
We'll have to
I
do it
would
again.
like to take you and Mary into our other room. Well, it's part of this room too, in our other area. We're in our event center upstairs, and show them the 850. Okay. As we go by, you can see we have all 890s. We have 25 890s sewing up here, and we had absolutely no noise. It was just absolutely there. It was just our laughing and having fun, and that's the great part. So let's go ahead and go into the other room. Miss Connie. Very good question. I'll tell you my difference, but Mary, you want to tell them your differences, and Sandra, you know the difference. Okay, mine. What I love the difference between the 890 and the 850 is the touchscreen. I thought it was just fabulous. It was very easy and simple to go ahead and make my own samples. If I do a lot of decorative threads, so when I do a serger, I like to experiment and do different things, and then I can save it into my own personal memory, and I can go right back to it anytime I want to use it. I have about 20 personal favorites of that machine, but that's my first one.
All right, I was going to mention the memory. The electronic touchscreen with the built-in videos. So if you get lost on what step you're on, you've got your guided mode or your expert mode. Guided mode will have the video for each and every step of the way. So it's like having your basic machine training class right there at home with you.
You mean Mary?
In which machine?
The 890.
So you mean, Mary, you're going to go home with them?
Figuratively inside the machine, yes.
For Sandra, you're going to go home with them?
Yeah. Well, I did give them my email and my Facebook page. Yeah. Okay. So the 850 is a fabulous machine too, and it is a serger only. So I don't have the cover stitch or the chain stitch or the screen. But for somebody who maybe is a quilter or even a wool, you work a lot with wool and you need to use it to finish your rugs or finish the edges of things, and maybe you're not a garment maker, you're a quilter. It's a great machine to have for that too. It is just a serger, but it has that 9mm stitch width, so nice and wide.
Air
Has
threading.
the fabulous air threading. It takes about 2 seconds to thread it, and also it does almost all the stitches except the cover and chain that this stitch does. I think it does 18 or 19 different stitches. So it's a fabulous machine too.
And you know, I can tell you from firsthand experience, many of you know that I have more than one serger at home. How many of you have more than one serger in here? I love it. There's a lot of hands going up.
We have more than 4.
Oh, I love it. That's great. And when we first got these machines, they were in such tight supply. They still are. Everybody knows the COVID word, right? What is it?
Back order.
Supply chain.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And so Miss Mary, since she had done all the prototypes and training, I felt she really needed to have the machine first.
Thank
right?
you.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a choice. So you got the first one. And so I took the 850 when it came in, and I will tell you, I fell in love with it, and I still have it. I do also have an 890, but the 850, what I found that I was using it for, because I was doing a lot of masks at the time.
Yes.
Still, and I loved, finishing it off with that. I also use my 890 for my napkins, so they call me the napkin lady a lot of times. In fact, there's one laying on the counter there that's got the, now this one is 15 years old, but I do have one that we are finishing and we just started over in the other room. And we are doing rolled edges on it. That happens to be done with candlelight. And so I love the stitch quality on that machine. And that has the swing out foot, which is really
And I don't know, did anybody mention the free arm?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that has a free on too. It's a wonderful machine. And when you look at the 850 and the 890, you look at them and you go, it looks like what?
Sewing machine.
It does. It looks like a Bernina sewing machine. So it goes really hand in hand with your sewing machine. So let's go into the other room. We'll let these ladies finish what they're doing, and gentlemen, because I know you're having a good time finishing up. And here we are at the other side of the room, and we are showing the beautiful 850 Bernina that is on sale during this July 4th sale. And Mary, I know you got things. Like I said, this was my first one, so with
Yes.
the air threading. But show what you love about it.
I love the free arm. I love the one-touch step air threading. It's already locked and loaded, as we say. So if we want to air thread, and it's different from any other air threader out there, Linda. I don't know if you realize it. Of course you do, because you use it. You just dangle the thread and let it suck in. You blink, you miss it. It's that quick. So again,
Look at her. She's threading every one of these threads while we're
you're
talking.
going to watch here or here, but you have to watch quick because I got to dangle it.
Boom.
I let go, and it's right there. It's so much faster than you can even see. I love how the blade can go down so that I have to move out here if I want.
What
But
did
look
you
at
just
look
do?
at look at what I also did at the same time. Bernina has exclusive swing out foot so that I can get in there to change a needle. I can get in there to see and to clean occasionally if I want to. It's called the swing out foot, and it's great. My knife blade is here. Okay, something else on the Bernina. We have all the way up to 5/8 of an inch, 9mm wide, which is it looks like a sewing machine.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
right here, my blade is there. Pressure foot pressure. What other nice things can I talk about? Oh yes,
Tools on board. I love.
tools on board. Tweezers, the sharpest there are out there.
Now Mary is an expert on tweezers.
On tweezers, I go through a lot, and I like the Bernina
as many
tweezers.
tweezers as you do scissors, right?
Yes, I do. The Bernina tweezers are nice and sharp. They have a nice sharp grip. I have my needle threader, although I don't really need to use that one because we do have a built-in automatic needle threader, a brush, my needle inserter, which I do use. On the free arm tray, we also have the tray to put on so that I can watch this, make this into an extension. I've got to support my whatever if I'm doing quilt as you go, my garments, I've got this nice
We
support
could
tray.
even put it into this cabinet in the back. I don't know if you see behind it. You can look at that, but you can see that we have cabinets in white and teak, and this fits perfectly into the cabinet so that you can go ahead and have a wonderful serger cabinet. Oh, and I love the tins. The tins are fabulous.
You can only get this tin if you purchase the 850 or the 890. The 850 comes with one tin, and inside I have all the things I need. The 890 comes with two tins because they come with a little bit more. And then of course we have our safety feature. If my air is on, this won't shut, so that's nice. We have our waist catcher that just slips on
This
so nicely.
may seem like a little thing, but it isn't.
Not every serger comes with that.
Right, and it's really important because when you're cutting and sewing, it's so quick to be able to go right off. You can do a little quick stitch.
I am. Let's see if I've got.
Yeah, it's just so
fabric.
fast that
Speed
especially-
control.
Oh,
Speaking of
yeah,
fast,
yes,
on the 890 we have automatic that we can set up. On the 850 we have half speed and full speed. I don't always like to surge,
Yeah.
so you have your choice.
You know, I love too the fact that you're going to get this heavy threads through here because you've got a foot that'll lift up or lift down.
We have the freehand system, which I don't have set up on this cabinet here. Let me put my blade back up.
Another thing that's pretty cool, guys, is we did do a lot of videos for our club on wasteful surgeries with some inspiration for projects.
Right. A lot of our clubs are made with the samples are made on these sergers.
Yes.
And so we will have phenomenal support. Doesn't matter where you live. Our education and support for these machines is by far better than anything around. We have Mary's done classes.
Liz
all of our
just did a
educators.
class on this.
Yeah, it's really important. Not that you couldn't learn this, but we never would do that with you. We are very, very education supportive and orientated in the store. It's very key that when you buy a sewing machine from us, we're not going to think we're a serger like this, that you take it home and you put it in a closet and we're never going to talk to you again. We want to talk to you. We want to be able to sit down.
I've had them send me a picture and diagnose that they have to change the upper looper or the lower looper, it's a tension or something like that, through an email or we FaceTime.
Yeah, we do that quite often, and we like to do our original lesson. Of course, during COVID, we were doing them strictly by the camera with
Correct.
Zoom meeting or FaceTime. And now we like to have a private lesson where you can sit next to us. But if you can't physically sit next to us, you will be sitting next to your machine. We'll be sitting next to the same machine, and we will be doing the same thing with you that you're doing at home. So I guess if I want to get it across to our customer base is that this is a machine that is so simple, but you need still to have someone who is a professional that knows the machine that can get you started on the right experience with it so that you love it, that you really say, oh my gosh, I never would be without my serger.
I never would be without my serger.
Now, can we go to the other side? And I'd like them to see, this is actually the one that we were talking about earlier. And this is, and we've got a little bit closer up of it. And this, of course, is the 890 that's set into the cabinet. And with this wonderful table, the catcher, you've got the
The
knee
knee
lift
lift lever, which raises and lowers
And again,
the foot.
if you want to.
Can you show that again?
As I take my foot, the presser foot lifter will lift. So I'm taking my knee on the freehand system and lifting. And of course we want to start before the blade. And we've had so many people upstairs. It's been
This has been
played with.
yeah, we get a lot of people starting with this.
And I'm 3 layers right here. This little thing, nobody in the other room picked up on that. This is my seam gauge, and it comes with both the 850 and the 890, and I can set it to have my fabric line up so I can guide my fabric instead of looking for a mark or taking marker. I've seen so many sergers come in with pink tape or markers where we can just use this because this is movable. And if I move it right about there, that's 5/8 if I were to measure it. So what I like is I can go into this. I have a question mark, and this is the stitch optimizer. So what the stitch optimizer is it will give me a picture of the stitch, and if the seam puckers, it's going to tell me what to do.
This is
Step
the
by
part I
step.
love.
I love it.
That's what that one lady was talking about in the other room when she said, it tells you what happens with the stitch. She was
Yes,
trying to verbalize that.
that's the stitch optimizer. We have so many things. We can stop, even with this one, we can stop it with the needle down, Linda, which is, that's a first on sergers. We've got speed control where the 850 has half. I can take it up and down, and it'll go up to over 1350 stitches a minute. I usually am about 1,000 stitches, which is plenty fast. Yellow shows that I've changed. Linda talked about memory, so we have stitches in the memory. My tensions I can control and open up and do the slide bar.
So if she wants to work with a real heavy thread, and it's normally just, you don't have to touch anything, but say that you want to work with an extra thread, you've got the capability of doing that. So
Yes,
I love
yes.
that.
So, and then I can change my tensions, name the stitch. It's a Bernina. Those of you who are already familiar with Bernina are familiar with that because it's the same operating screen. Look at the space you have here.
And I
Look at
know
the
we
light.
can't go into all the pricing.
No.
Could we? No. All right. I'm not sure what that means. Loud.
Call us.
Call
us.
Call.
At 847-394-4590.
Or contact us on the
and ask for
website.
Mary.
Yeah, it's a website too. They can leave a message.
Oh boy, I've got it.
It's been a long day,
It
guys.
has been long
Sorry.
2 days.
Long months, no?
And we have 2 more to go.
I know
It's
we
really
do.
fun.
Yes.
So we are, we really do. If you know anything about LindaZ, our biggest sale of the year is July 4th. And because of what's going on with COVID this year, we are going to be here on that Sunday. But we always have a preview the week before and a couple of days afterwards.
Correct.
So I would encourage you to call Mary Beth.
Call me. I'll get back to you by my end of day.
And they can
I
check the
promise.
website for the machines that we have in stock and on
we have a
specials.
lot of
It's
other
Yes.
things that we're going to be, everything's going to be on sale. Fabrics, machines, notions, there's just going to be a lot of fun things. So we want you to come and take advantage.